Lorcats Vanilla Gaming.
Weiter geht's mit der nächsten Session. Vampyr. Gucken wir mal. Wir müssen, glaube ich, ein paar Patienten heilen. Denn Whitechapel sieht gut aus. Den komischen Swinebrook können wir nicht heilen, weil er uns nicht reinlässt. Aber im Hospital sind jetzt einige erkrankt. 4-mal Erschöpfung, 5-mal Erschöpfung, einmal Kopfschmerzen, 6-mal Erschöpfung, 7-mal Erschöpfung, wow, und einmal Kopfschmerzen. Ja, Material haben wir genug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 und Kopfschmerzen. Jojo. Ah ja. Da wir gestorben sind, war ja Respawn. Ein bisschen clean hier. Ich hasse diese Attacke. Ah. Ich benutze dieses Blutschild immer noch zu wenig. Okay. Das hat länger dauert, als ich dachte. Alles klar. Das ist wohl nichts dabei. Aber da war doch ein Päckchen, ja wunderbar. Schmiermittel. Oh, die Witwe ist immer noch in Nöten. Na, dann gucken wir uns nachher noch. Weil das sind jetzt wahrscheinlich die ganzen Liche auch wieder gespawnt. Erstmal heilen. Pembroke Hospital. So, jetzt schauen wir mal kurz. Wen haben wir denn alles? Der Pfiffig, der ist jetzt doch gleich hier.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
Nö, sonst können wir auch nichts reden, okay.
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
Really? Why has no one else asked me that since I got here? I thought I was in a hospital.
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reed. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Nummer 1 geheilt.
Reads me like a book. I never could keep it. I'm so tired.
Sind die Faktoren auch krank? Der Eggrate.
This shift will never end.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Oh, wir haben einen neuen Hinweis.
Tell me, Thoreau, What's the real cause of your dislike for Dr. Ackroyd?
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
Hast du es jetzt persönlich genommen, oder was?
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Da, deine Mom war krank, genau.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Oh, wir haben noch gar keine Hinweise zur Frau.
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No, I don't feel well, actually.
Despite what you think about this place, I can tell you with absolute certainty, taking this will help you recover.
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for this hospital.
Eieiei.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Ich bin viel zu gut für das Spiel. Ich glaube, ich sollte echt langsam anfangen, alle umzubringen.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay. Du warst gar nicht krank.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Dann nimm's einfach.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed. We do not see you in surgery very often.
What do you think of Dr. Tippett's opinion of your promotion, Waverley?
Tippett is a good practitioner. Maybe just a little too attached to his prestigious position at the Pembroke Hospital.
Really? That's exactly his diagnosis of you. A little too eager to get promoted? A little bit too proud?
He has the right to think so. But I deserve this promotion. And I don't consider it anything but well earned.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Ist gut, wenn wir mit dem mal wieder reden. Da haben wir anscheinend doch ein paar Hinweise freigespielt. Das ist der Tippett. Mit dem haben wir schon gesprochen. Da sind wir reingekommen.
The words to calm the children.
Ach, da ist einer. Ah, das ist der, braucht auch Hilfe, ja.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Do you need medical attention?
Well, the proximity of the dead is not the most healthy company, even if the quiet can be appreciated.
Don't take too many risks with your health, Mr. Chidana. None of us are immune to this disease.
And that is a good thing. Death and disease is a constant reminder of our mortality. But you have my thanks, Dr. Reed.
Ja, für dich noch irgendwas Neues rausgefunden? Nein.
Please
Was hast
show
du
me
Schönes für
what you
mich?
have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Ja, die klaust du wahrscheinlich für die Daten. Gibst du. Ja gut, davon kriegen wir glaube ich genug so. Hoppala. Ich könnte eigentlich mal gucken, das ist bestimmt schon wieder alles respawned hier, oder? Ja, ja. Weil die schon da sind und die Leute hier heilen. Was haben wir denn noch für welche? Die haben wir auch. Der noch, okay, den haben wir auch. Der läuft glaube ich außen, oder? Eine von die Schwestern. Mhm. Und melden. Okay. Ja, hier.
Disgust on every
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
evening, Dr. Reed.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
Not really. I think you caught something in this bloody hospital. I swear I'm dead. yet smiling inside, Dr. Reed.
As long as you remain here, I will make sure you don't have to worry about your health.
Don't think you can do much about it. Damage is done.
Mann, oh Mann, oh Mann, sind die alle
Goodbye for
pessimistisch.
now, Mr. Elwood.
Ich wollte nur gucken, ob wir einen
Good
Hinweis
evening,
haben.
Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Ja.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
You know you can't hide forever. One day you'll have to face your loved ones. Until that day, you have no chance of real recovery.
My friends all died in the trenches. It's shameful enough to be alive with these stupid scars. I don't want my children to see me like this.
Der hat Kinder.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Okay.
You told me before you don't want your children to see you like this. Do you have any other family?
My sister Agatha has raised me nippers since their mother died. Don't want them to look at me like this.
How could children despise their father injured in the war?
What do you think? They saw me. Once. My poor angels left the room crying. They keep on having nightmares every week, my sister told me.
Toll.
Your sister's not a child. I'm sure she has nothing but respect for a wounded soldier, and you are her brother.
You don't know my sister Agatha. She may be young, but she's all discipline and morality. If she ever found out what really happened...
She doesn't have to know.
She's a sly one, my sister. One day she'll find out the truth and knock 7 bells out of me. Nah. I'm better off here.
Das ist super. Das siehst lieber in dem Krankenhaus vor dich hin. Mega.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Lass dich anknabbern von der vermeintlichen Blutsaugerin. Das ist echt geil.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Yep, unter anderem deins.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when even the hospital workers are worried about disease.
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections, Milton. There's no shame in being ill while you're in a hospital.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick often. But thanks, anyway.
Ja, irgendwie sind wir so unsterblich und so. Schau mal, was du zum
I'd
Handeln
like
hast.
to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Er hat immer noch unsere Ringe. Und die Waffe von ihm. Wir haben wieder so wenig Geld, ist ja echt furchtbar. Bist du vielleicht die Hilfe braucht?
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
I will be fine. As soon as I can get some sleep.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick. Take this, and do try to get some rest.
I'll try, Dr. Reed. Thank you.
So, jetzt dürfen wir aber auch wirklich, bis auf den einen, der noch
Call me if you need assistance.
draußen rumlungert, eigentlich alle haben, ja, der Kopfschmerzen hat. du? Nein, wo ist er denn? Da unten. Okay, hier.
Good evening.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Yep.
Do you need medical attention?
Don't get me wrong, sir. I'm grateful for what you've done, but I've never felt comfortable with doctors.
I'm certain you have your reasons. But let me assure you, I'm not like other doctors you may have consulted with.
It is true. You risked your life to save me, after all. It would be impolite to refuse your counsel.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher. Try to take care of yourself.
Tja. War zwar nur 25 Erfahrungspunkte jetzt pro Ding, aber es waren immerhin 8 Stück, also ein bisschen was bringt schon. Also nochmal kurz gucken. Erholt sich. Jo. Ja, damit haben wir alle. Und dann gehen wir nochmal, würde ich sagen, kurz zum Friedhof, wenn da immer noch die Dame lungert. Da ist ein Händler. Achso, dieser Unterschlupf. Ich glaube, da ging es dann zum Friedhof. Das sind schon die ersten Gegner, die wieder respawnen. Furchtbar. Aua! Ach, da hinten steht nur der Typ, okay. Ja, mal als erstes den rausnehmen. Ich mag die nicht. Ja, der hat einen langen Spieß. Und tschüss. So. Hier gibt es wenigstens wieder ordentlich Loot. Also stimmt.
Turn around, sir. I'll kill you.
Aua. Ja, sonst geht's dir doch gut.
See them fancy.
Gut, dass man unverwundbar ist, während man beißt. Wir brauchen unbedingt mehr Ausdauer. Also wir wollen, wie gesagt, echt nur mal kurz zu der Dame gucken, die hier eigentlich befreit sein sollte, aber immer noch auf dem Friedhof rumlagert mit den Vielen cool. Nein. Was macht die hier? Da ist sie.
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is the proper way to address someone in my country.
I do apologize, Xiao Shun. Are you all right?
Yes, I am. This is the only place where I can find some kind of serenity. Some way to remember my dear Matthew.
Ich finde es trotzdem ein bisschen bedenklich, dass du hier rumhängst.
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her dispensary?
I heard that she used to help the refugees, but unfortunately you don't see her around anymore.
Weil sie jetzt irgendwie ziemlich platt, tot, was auch immer ist.
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends or family who you could be with?
I have family and friends, but I need to be here alone. One day maybe I'll go back to them, but not now. I need silence, and I need sadness.
I've seen many deaths in my life, and we all grieve in our own way. Some stay silent, or need to shout. Others need company, and some just can't stand it.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed. I sense you trying to help me, even if I don't quite understand why.
Weil ich ein netter Vampir bin.
Tell me how your husband died, Xiao Shun.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others. It's a mundane cause of death these days, but for me it meant the end of the world.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to defeat this terrible epidemic. I'm truly sorry.
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so quickly, even before realizing it.
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type, a happy sort. Everything that I am not. Did he laugh at his death to come, or did he not realize what was going to happen? I'll never know.
So schnell kann es doch gar nicht gegangen sein, oder?
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease mankind has ever faced. Why are you blaming yourself?
You don't understand. I didn't know he was so sick. I didn't realize the gravity of his situation until it was too late.
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable to this awful disease.
Das klang
It
gerade
can
aber
take
sehr
the
nah.
strongest man in just a couple of days.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We never realized how bad it was. We laughed about it even. He always made me laugh. Now I don't have enough tears to shed.
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this why you feel so guilty for not saving your sick husband?
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it coming?
I'm a physician, one of the best in the country. But I was unable to save my own sister, Mary. She died in my arms.
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make me feel better?
No. But I felt I should share it with you, since she is buried here too.
May I ask what caused the death of your sister?
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease. A disease I have sworn to fight and cure, no matter how long it takes.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Dr. Reed. Maybe it's time we start to rebuild our lives, you and I.
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you? Eventually, you'll have to leave the cemetery.
Why? Why should I go? Since this is the only place I can find peace of mind.
Yeah.
But you're not dead. There is a difference between visiting the dead and staying with them.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel.
Let's just say, I too have a good reason to visit cemeteries at night.
Please accept my condolences for your loss then, Dr. Reed.
Ich würde sagen, du packst es langsam, hä?
You should go home now.
I think you're right. Cemeteries are for the dead, for they need silence too. Thank you for your honesty and your wisdom, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your company, Xiaoshun. Take care on the way home.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel. Goodbye for now.
Ja, jetzt sollten wir aber dann...
Goodbye for now.
Doch.
So many new graves.
Untersuchung erfolgreich. Ja, ich wollte gerade sagen, das müsstest du eigentlich geschafft haben. Und wieder zurück. Ach, die sind immer noch am Laufen, okay. Jetzt geht der Streich zum Falten, ey. Au. Ich laufe, glaube ich, im Kreis, ne? Ah, okay, dann mache ich die jetzt platt, ey. Was soll das? Die halten doch mehr, als ich dachte. Puh. Ich generiere sogar immer noch Leben, cool. Wo geht's denn hier gleich wieder raus? Ah, da. Ich wahrscheinlich die Tür im Kampf sowieso nicht aufmachen können. Sollen wir jetzt da unten mal reinschauen in die Kanalisation? Echt schräg. Schauen wir mal. Aufmachen können wir es. Stonebridge Kanalisation. Ich mag die Beamer nicht, aber so ist es lustig. Gott, kann man sich hier verirren auch? Die ultimative Fähigkeit ist echt cool. Ich wollte gerade ausweichen, Mann. Ach nein! Anscheinend kann man Konterattacke machen, wusste ich gar nicht. Ah, ein Sammelobjekt, der nice. Ich glaube immer noch, dass wir hier eigentlich gar nicht sein sollten. Aua, aus der euch. Aha, da oben. Ah, da geht's schon wieder raus. Hä? Oh. Dickes Tier. Wie Haus.
It's locked, all right.
Ein Code.
This is Braille. I need someone who can read this.
Blindschrift. Oh. Wie nett. Kommst du mich besuchen? Aua. Hier. Schon wieder so wie es haben. Oh, ich hasse es, gegen dich zu kämpfen, wenn es so eng ist. Und dann hast du nicht mehr was. Doch, schon.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Hey, ich brauch Blut. Dann schauen wir mal, wo es hier rausgeht. Puh. Ich hasse diese großen Bestien. Das ist aber ein anderes Eck, ja. Nee, oder? Hä? Doch, das ist die andere Seite. Aber ich kann mal die Tür von der Seite aufmachen und dann ist sie aufgesperrt vielleicht. Yeah! Ja genau, wir haben durch die Kanalisation jetzt diese Tür geöffnen können. Ah. Ah, toll. Erstmal Blut voll saugen hier. Dann gucken wir uns hier mal an. Boah, 2 Teile eines gewöhnlichen Griffs. Das ist ja super Ausbeute. Da oben kann man hoch, das ist anscheinend ein Unterschlupf.
I have this thirst for blood. I cannot
Hier kann
enter.
man nicht durch. Was sonst oben noch was? Ah, da. Wo sind wir jetzt? Da. Weil den Unterschlupf haben wir das schon, oder? Hätte ich jetzt gesagt.
It's locked.
Kann man was aufwerten? Achso, nee, da brauchen wir jetzt die blauen Griffe. Wovon wir noch gar keinen haben. Zerlegen. Ja, ich dachte mal so viel von dem Kram. Ach, ich bräuchte eher Kohle dann. Halten wir es mal. Krass, war jetzt hier nix. Ist hier ja gar nicht rentiert. Aber wenigstens wissen wir jetzt, dass da unten nicht wirklich was ist. Wir können uns wieder der Quest mitnehmen. Achso, das war der Weg. Ja, dann gehen wir mal nach Whitechapel. Und zwar über den offiziellen Weg. Den wir uns auch vermutlich erst wieder freikämpfen müssen. der war doch bestimmt. Okay. Ein Kaplan von Prüven. Sollen wir mal so einen Kaplan noch umhauen? Bringt das was? Da ist auch noch einer. Was ist schon jetzt mit seinem Hin- und Her tun, wehtun? Der Power of the Lord sagt jetzt erstmal halt die Klappe und fall um. Au. Der kann mit seinem Stäbchen ja ganz schön zuhauen. Achso, ist der andere Unterschlupf. Ich muss echt mir angewöhnen, mehr nach oben zu schauen. Ich glaube, dass ich hier noch nicht überall war. Kommt mit. Oh, das ist wieder wie ich letztes Mal. Ich finde das lustig, wenn die gegeneinander kämpfen.
Watch out, boys! Crawl back to the hell that spawned you! We'll crush this beast!
Wir kümmern uns aber um den einen hier oben. Ach, Mist. Ah, ich glaube, das überlebst du nicht. Na toll. Nur weil wir den Loot wollen, riskiere ich das jetzt wieder mal. Gegen die bin ich aber letztes Mal draufgegangen. Aua. Hinter mir soll ich dir. Hab dich. Na. Viel weiß ich es nicht. Aber hey. Schenkengaul, aber nicht ins Maul. Schon wieder zurücklaufen, verdammt. Mein Orientierungssinn in dem Spiel ist echt der Wahnsinn. sollte man eigentlich da sein.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Ja, ich hab irgendwas im
Science
Auge.
fails
Das ist
you.
echt ätzend.
This elixir will give you faith again.
Maybe it's time to see if this Christine.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
For there is no protection against
Wieso habe ich hier noch einen Mark? Ah,
malevolence and trickery.
und jetzt ein Hinterraum oder was? Hinter die Kapelle? Ah, Haupttür. Jetzt können wir in die Kirche. Ah.
Yes? What is it that you want?
I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour.
No worries, my son. I'm still quite awake, having just returned from a funeral.
Yes, I know. I've forgotten what I wanted. I don't know.
May I help you, child? You seem somewhat perturbed.
I haven't the strength to cross the threshold. I wish to pray, to cleanse my soul.
The church is shut by order of the bishop. But I'm still the vicar of St. Mary's, if that is any use to you, my son.
You seem to me a good soul, Vicar. But this is a personal matter.
There are no secrets from God, my son. If your heart needs comfort, consider me your chapel. For I can be as silent as stone.
Was ist der Unterschied zwischen dem und dem? Ha?
I've words for one departed. They're not for living ears to hear.
Your eyes burn with rage, yet I see the pain that lies beyond. I am here to lighten the burden of all God's creatures. Whatever you tell me is between us and the Lord.
Very well, priest, as you seem quite adamant.
Open your heart, my son. Tell me what burdens you. With whom do you wish to speak?
She was my sister.
You seem so troubled by the loss of this girl. What happened to her?
Wie ehrlich wollen wir sein?
She was murdered.
I see. And how are you feeling, my son?
I feel responsible. The pain is consuming me.
I have a final question for you, my son. This is of the utmost importance.
Ask your question, Vicar.
What words would you like to say to your poor sister?
I killed you. There's no excuse. My dear Mary, forgive me.
You have been heard, my son, and your burden will lighten if your words are sincere. Go in peace now, and live your life in the way she would have wanted.
Wir haben es echt gesagt, wir haben sie getötet. Was? Ich bin echt... Okay, damit hätte ich es nicht geredet.
There. I confessed to that vicar. Do I feel better? Only time will tell.
Warum kann ich mich hier teleportieren, wenn es nichts gibt?
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Ups, ich wollte irgendwie gar nicht mit dir reden.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Mr. Swansea.
Take me a bottle and I'll do.
Dann gehen wir halt gleich wieder zurück. Ja, doch, wie ist das zu? Ach, das ist die Abkürzung. Haha, jetzt haben wir die Tür auch mal aufgemacht. Cool. Ja, auch recht. Mr. Swansea. Was wird der mir jetzt sagen? Das will noch heilen. Mann, irgendwie noch beschädigt.
Remorse and pain are precious when binding you to the earth. You. I remember you.
Oh, da ist er ja.
Fear be gone. I would harm no child of my making.
This is your doing. You made me this creature. What are you?
I am the land. You are our champion.
Riddles and rhymes. You took my life. Now you insult my mind.
Be stilled, my child. I bring understanding.
What is it you seek?
This age is sickly. An ancient poison, an older rage, brewed in a cauldron newly forged.
This has something to do with the epidemic.
Seek truth, my champion. Defeat the serpent of knowing with iron spur.
Das soll jetzt mich schlauer machen.
I've had enough of others making decisions for me, pretending to know how I should feel or behave. So the vampire who made me is some sort of disembodied entity? Or was he just projecting this vision in my mind? Maybe Edgar can help me with this one.
Schauen wir mal, was Edgar sagen kann. Oh, was ist hier los?
God protect us. You've got a leech in the hospital.
Yes, my hospital. My mission is to heal while you go about warring.
You've set the table for a snake. I wonder why there's venom in your food.
I'm growing tired of your song. You're a woodsman, McCallum, not a doctor. Return to your hunt.
Remember, I've a good nose for machinations. I can flare the scent at a mile. You can't hide from the god.
Leave him, Jonathan. This is sacred ground. Neutral territory. And I just had the carpet cleaned.
Der Guard. Die Wache von Priven. Was macht die im Krankenhaus?
By the sacred stole, this is very bad news. Bad news indeed.
What happened?
The hospital has been attacked. We have injured patients, at least one dead and several missing. This has spiraled out of control. Even the most infirm are asking to be allowed to return home.
We cannot have the people lose faith in this institution. This hospital is their only hope.
Of course, you're right. But we cannot afford a public scandal. It would ruin us. We must restore order, and quickly.
You mentioned a dead patient. Who is he?
She, Jonathan. She was Miss Harriet Jones. I found her room like a slaughterhouse. Blood everywhere. The duty nurse is taking care of the mess.
Wer macht denn sowas?
Very well. I'll help you.
I know this place means something to you. I have noticed how you suppress your appetite when around the staff and patients.
You need to know you can trust me, Edgar.
I do, dear fellow, I do.
Please then, tell me.
Sean Hampton, the man we thought we'd saved at the docks. It seems he was infected after all.
So Hampton became more beast than man.
Exactly. And now Guard of Prewen suspects the hospital of vampire activity. Do you realize what that could mean for us?
Die Wache ist ein bisschen fanatisch.
Well, they're not far wrong. The hospital is almost crawling with vampires.
McCullum is a fanatic. The Guard will stop at nothing. You don't know what they're capable of, Jonathan.
Very well. Since I brought Mr. Hampton here, I will put an end to this.
Ich kann was sonst noch mit dir machen?
If you don't mind, I have a few questions.
I'd be delighted to help you if I'm able.
I just recently met the strangest creature in Whitechapel. He was immense. He mocked me and accused me of hypocrisy.
Perhaps it was a skull. London's streets are overflowing with them these days.
It was a vampire, all right. But what kind, I'm not sure. He was large and very fast.
If you find anything more about this creature, the Brotherhood would greatly appreciate any information you could spare.
He was observing me with the obvious intent to do me harm. His very presence evoked a palpable sense of menace.
You need to be careful, Jonathan. You've no idea what this creature really is.
Auf jeden Fall war er echt bedrohlich.
I recently tried to enter a church. It has been a very unpleasant experience.
The Brotherhood's research on the matter of faith and vampirism has proved somewhat insubstantial, to say the least.
Is this proof that I'm cursed in the eyes of the divine?
The wrath of the Almighty? There's no way of knowing. It could be subconscious guilt, or irrational fear, or deep-seated beliefs.
It's hard to explain in terms of science, that's for sure.
I'm sure Lady Ashbury will have far greater insight into this matter than little old
Das ist eine
me.
gute Idee, könnt mit der Lady mal sprechen.
What exactly happened here while I was absent?
Hampton turned, quite violently as it happened. Lurking about, attacked Miss Jones. To say he created quite a commotion would be an understatement.
Are you sure it was Hampton that killed Miss Jones?
There was blood everywhere, but no body. And you know the state she was in. I fear for what he did with her. Hopefully he just hid the corpse.
How did the Guard of Prewen come to hear of this?
McCullum has spies everywhere. He will jump at any opportunity to disparage the Brotherhood and show his contempt.
Who was that man in your office?
Geoffrey McCullum, actual leader of the Guard of Prewen. I suspect he's the man behind the rebirth of this old and dusty society.
They know I'm here now, don't they?
I can guarantee one thing. The Guard of Prewen would never dare to attack the hospital while I'm in charge here.
Warum das?
What do they hope to achieve?
Their ultimate goal is the eradication of all vampires in the country. They see you as a threat to mankind, Jonathan.
Was nicht ganz unwahr ist, würde ich sagen.
Thank you, Edgar.
Okay. Aber es ist eine gute Idee. Wir könnten mal mit unserer Vampir-Lady sprechen.
Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Ah, wir müssen zu den Docks, da ist sie ja.
Oh, Jonathan, I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman, butchered by some savage scowl.
Können wir diese Mahlzeit teilen? Was ist denn das?
Yes, and I'm afraid I'm at least partially responsible. The man, the scowl, I brought him here.
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent. For there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, Jonathan.
Ja, lass uns über Ascalon reden und diesen komischen Hühner.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
Wer ist Ascalon?
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
Have you embraced this woman, like the other patient, this Mr. Renfield?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her. I vowed a very long time ago that I would never take another life, unless they ask.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patients?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour. Frankly, I'm starving.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital. How can you resist?
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
Das ist nett von dir.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes, it has happened to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action? Are we repellent unto heaven?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Thank you, my lady. I hope to see you again soon.
Ich würde sagen, wir gucken mal in unser Zimmer. Ach, da ist ja ruhig. Ja, das sieht's aus.
What on earth happened here?
Wow. Schade, ich dachte, wir könnten hier noch irgendeinen Hinweis oder so finden.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No. I was working by the tents when it all happened. I only entered the room when they asked me to clean up the blood.
Und die Leiche?
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but... well, maybe it was him.
Okay.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Hat gerade jemand Help Me geschrieben? Ne, wir gehen erstmal in unser Zimmer. Machen wir mal ein kurzes Nickerchen. Wir haben echt den Priester gebeichtet, ich breche ein. Was ist eigentlich mit diesen ganzen Blutproben, die wir gesammelt haben? Was sind die eigentlich gut? Aha. Ach, dafür, okay. Stimmt, wir haben den Text in Blindenschrift gefunden. Was skillen wir? 1000 Erfahrungspunkte. Ja, unsere aktiven Skills können wir leider nicht verbessern. Das ist echt schwer, wenn man niemanden aussaugt. Wie viel bräuchte man da? 2000. Aha, okay. Ausdauer. Alles fängt mit Ausdauer an hier. Krass, wir brauchen unbedingt mehr Ausdauer. Super. Damit würde ich sagen, machen wir auch Schluss für heute. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Wir haben ordentlich geheilt. 2 neue, die noch immer krank sind. Wir sind im gesunden Zustand. Whitechapel. Bleibt auf bedenklich. 2 neue Erkrankungen. Das geht. Hier drüben ändert sich quasi nichts. Bleibt stabil. Gut, ohne Stütze zieht sich es halt wahrscheinlich länger hin. Die können wir heilen. Dann ist es eigentlich relativ gut. Also ja, und da waren wir jetzt. Und in der nächsten Runde zieht es uns dann definitiv in die Docks. Und dann werden wir hier auch ein bisschen mehr rauskriegen. Also, danke fürs Zuschauen und in der nächsten Runde schauen wir uns die Docks an. Ciao.